Thanks for coming to watch another video for Paperworks. Today I want to talk about CPNs and SCNs versus SSNs, which is short for Social Security number. But before we do that, I want to ask, can you guys hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, make sure we can circulate these videos for people who may need the information or service. Look out for a video on other services, free giveaways, discounted services for paperwork. So anyway, back to the CPN and SCN. CPN is credit protection number. SCN is secondary credit number. I forget. There's another term, but the ads are all over the internet for this SCNs and CPNs. This is a 9-digit number. Usually people who are trying to apply for credit either for scam purposes, or they can't or don't have the ability to get their personal SSN or Social Security number back in status so that they can get the credit that they need. So like I said, that's a 9-digit number. I've seen where these numbers back in the 80s, people used EINs, which are usually for businesses. It's a 9-digit number, where it's morphed into people creating numbers and or using other people's Social Security numbers or Social Security numbers that have not been issued to get credit. It's not a number that a lot of lenders are starting to have security measures that they can check and see if this was issued or if the number is attached to another person. There's a lot of different information bureaus and services, so it's not like in the past. It's just, okay, we see your Social Security number, credit report, and we're good to go. So that recently in the last few years stopped a lot of people from applying and getting approved. Obviously, if this number is someone else's or the application you put on there and it says put Social Security number and it's not, that can be fraud, which will lead to other issues. As far as doing federal loans or programs or grants, you're not going to be able to do that. But what I want to do, I'm going to talk about too, if you guys hang on later in the video, something that you may understand. I'm not going to go into it in depth, where it's possible to use your own Social Security number, where you may not have to get credit repair. And I'm sure some people are going to call and ask me about that, and we can talk about that. But anyway, trade lines sometimes will not post to the CPN or SCN number because the lenders have gotten hip to people applying with these numbers and they're not paying the bills. So they're doing more work to double check that. The CPN and SCN, because it's a new number, it's creating a new credit profile. It's, so it's not been around. So you're 25, 30, 35, 40 years old, and they're looking like, well, hey, this is a new credit profile. Where was this person before this time? The CPN, you got to build it up just like a Social Security number. Maybe add trade lines to the number. Trade lines will not always post to CPN, so some lenders won't do it. The cost, I've seen them $25 to $500. It can take 3 to 6 months to build up, even after you add the trade lines. You got to make payments, so forth and so on. And then some of the top tier lenders, they're just not going to approve. And then you're running up inquiries, which is going to get you declines. Adding trade lines could be 500 to 2,000 to add trade lines. And like I said, with these, if you're not making payments, like I have read a story about a guy who bought a car and didn't make the payments, and they did the research and found out it wasn't what it was supposed to be. And so they went from looking for a repo to the sheriff looking for him and eventually arresting him. Social Security, you can apply for anything. You know, you can obviously clean up the report. Most all trade lines can be added to a Social Security number. Social Security number you can use to help apply for business credit, federal loans, home loans, grants, that sort of deal. Social Security cost is free to most citizens. Repairing, you know, the Social Security number can be free to 2,000, depending on the service provider. It can be done as quick as 30 to 90 days. Adding trade lines can be free if you got a friend or family member that has a trade line that's useful. And so that's a different conversation. Look at my trade line videos. They could cost up to $1,000 a piece. You can build a score up to 700 plus in 30 days or less. With the Social Security number, the amount of credit you can receive is endless. Plus, it's a peace of mind. Nobody looking for you if you miss a payment. You know, so in my analysis, the SCN, CPN just costs too much as far as money, time, and possibly freedom. The SSN is a safer route. You know, nobody can question you about that. SSN may not need to have to be repaired, and I spoke about that earlier, where you might be able to build and get credit on your Social Security number without repairing the credit. So you guys have to call me on that. You can receive, you know, new credit obviously on the Social Security. The Social Security, just to recap, you know, you can clean that fast depending on if you know what you're doing, or the provider. Add trade lines, removing inquiries, getting funding for business, and like I said previously, getting credit without cleaning your report. So give us a call, 773-373-9184. I put a link here, so I'm not sure how that's going to show on YouTube, but it's a story about a provider of CPN where the news agencies got a hold of them. So you guys take a look at that. Again, I want to say subscribe, hit the thumbs up, share the videos, and I will see you guys next time.